Hey guys, welcome to the Scholomance Academy card valuation
You're slowing me
stream.
down. Let's do this. I'm Merps. That's the corpse of Advocta. We're talking about Druid, the most boring or most interesting class. I don't know. You have
But
opinions. I don't
boring.
really care about them. We are gonna talk about Druid cards. Okay. All right. So on to the first one. No time wasted. We're
Okay.
starting
The
with
best Druid
Teacher's Pet.
card is Embiggen. Oh, from this set.
From this set, yes, we're going to be talking about Teacher's Pet. Okay, no one likes Teacher's Pet, except I don't know if you're a Druid fan.
Or
Um,
a Hearthstone player who wants to play with good arena cards.
Imagine that. Teacher's Pet is a 5 mana 4/5 beast with taunt. So you're paying a little bit extra for what you should be getting for 5 mana. And then Death Rattle summon a random 3 cost beast. This is really freaking good. This is like really, really, really freaking good. It's a 156. Um, Once again, you're just getting a lot of stats. You're getting a ton of stats for the cost. And that's always worth a decent amount.
And a taunt.
And a ton. Yes, good. Thank you. Thank you for adding that. Uh, okay.
What
So
animal is that?
I don't know. It's like a sheep buffalo thing. Maybe it's
Okay.
just a buffalo kind of thing. I'm
Alright.
not sure. It's a teacher's pet.
It's
Okay.
it's interesting looking.
It is very interesting looking. Thank you for that contribution. Now, second, we have Twilight Runner. Twilight Runner is 5 mana, 5/4 beast stealth. Whenever this attacks, draw 2 cards. It's a 147. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, Merps, you're crazy. That's true. I'm also very tired. But you're crazy. This card should be a 200 because look, it's got stealth and then it's going to draw 2 cards. So why
Mhm.
isn't this higher? You want to say why it's not higher than a 147?
Cards don't mean shit in this meta.
That's basically it. um, Here's the thing. Uh, if every single thing draws you cards, it's just not as valuable. Look, how good is a 5 mana 5/4 stealth? It's not great. How good is
Hmm.
drawing 2 cards? It is quite good, right? But is drawing 2 cards amazing? Does it push this into the super premiums? Not anymore.
No.
No, not
No.
anymore.
Because your hand already has 8 cards in this
Yeah,
meta. And when you get 2 more, start trying to mill yourself. And that's no good.
yeah.
And
That's
you just get some more options and it's like fine and all, but it's not the same as like otherwise I'm going to run out of cards and then not be able to do stuff with my mana. Here it's like I'm always going to be able to do stuff with my mana. I just have more options of what to do with my mana. It's a different concept.
right. So, if you are in metas in which, uh, oftentimes, or maybe even just a decent amount of times, your choices are having something to play versus not having something to play. Well, that's a huge difference between you're just like, well, okay, I have a good option and a better option.
Hmm.
Um, that's really what this is. We're in a meta in which you're not going to run out of cards. All you're doing is saying, do I want to play the good option or the slightly better option? And you improving your options uh doesn't move the needle that much. Like once again, cards, like if you're drawing cards in which your other option would have equaled nothing, okay, well that card is worth like so many points. But right now, yeah, everything generates stuff. And some stuff even generates cards that are supremely valuable, like dragons, like which are huge and have initiative. So Twilight Runner is another one of those things, much like Steward of Scrolls, right? We looked
Hmm.
at it and we're like, oh my god, if we just use the basis of previous metas, this thing is brokenly good. And yes, if you had a time machine and for some reason you just want to use a stupid, like, the stupidest use of a time machine to travel back in time and put Twilight Runner into the previous arena meta. Not only are you an idiot for inefficiently using the time machine, like it's just yeah.
Like,
So yes,
to give you an
this
idea, Overflow, you know, the really good cards that draws you 5 cards and restores 5 health to all characters. That's a
pretty good,
114.
pretty bad.
It's like, would you rather have an Overflow and really be like totally okay, or would you rather have like for the end game, or would you rather have a Cho and Yeti and like have a curve drop on 4? And it's like kind of the same.
Yeah,
Like that's how many cards we expect you to have in this meta. That you're like, I don't think I need all those cards. I'd rather just like be okay. I'll make sure I have on my curve.
Yeah, and this is why like people keep on thinking it's like, oh, as expansions come out, man, Yeti has to be just always getting lower and lower and lower. No. There comes to be a point in which like the just being properly statted, right? It means something. So you have a point in which, like, for example, a vanilla 4-mana 4/5 versus a 4-mana 4/4 that also draws you a card, right? Well, how valuable is that? We're used to thinking of that 4-mana 4/4 that draws you a card as like, oh, dude, that's so much better than a Yeti. Yes, up to a point, right? But if you just have all the cards in the world, suddenly the ability of that 4/5 to dominate the 4/4, leave the 4/1, and like it doesn't really matter if you have 8 cards versus 9 cards, 9 cards versus 10 cards. That 4/5 is so much more valuable, and this is why, yeah, you can have a lot of power creep. But if the power creep is, in terms of drawing cards, in terms of generating cards, it doesn't necessarily push the Yeti down. Which is, I think, something
it
that
pushes other
like,
card rolls down. So you're
yeah,
like, you talk about the Gnomish Inventor. It kills the Gnomish Inventor, but the Yeti's fine.
yeah. So that's like a perspective that I think might be very interesting for some people.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people generally think, man, because of the expansions that have come out, because of the power levels, Yeti has to keep on going down. No, if anything, Yeti is in like a better shape. Yeah, Yeti went up, right? Like I think Yeti was below a 110 in a couple previous metas, and now it's at a 113, mostly just because those stats matter, and all these extra bells and whistles that are attached to stuff, it doesn't matter because you get so much of these bells and whistles that good old vanilla Yeti gets lifted a little bit.
Yep. All right. After Twilight Runner, we have a Runic Carvings. Runic Carvings, we talked about in Shaman. It's just as good in Druid. Both Shaman and Druid have that token game plan, right? You token, and then you Savage Roar, you Bloodlust, and you end the game. That's gonna be really good, by the way, as a game plan. Not just because like it's always been pretty good, but because you're otherwise very stalematey in this meta. So you're either going to keep flipping the board, but once you flip the board, what do? Well, you need to end it before they flip the board back. So having like those outs is super important, and it distinguishes druids and shamans from other classes. Like otherwise, why wouldn't you just play paladin?
Why wouldn't you just play paladin? Just play paladin.
Just play paladin, really.
Anyways, we also have Groundskeeper. We talked about this. It's a 134. Not much to touch upon here. The next card is Nature Studies. 1 mana. Discover a spell. Your next one costs 1 less. That's
Druid got this card. Everybody has one of these studies, right? Druid got spells. Not Mage. Mage got spell damage. Druid got the spells. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
This is the best studies.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, discovering a spell is great. And you're not just discovering a spell, you're still banking the mana.
Yeah, and you're going to be more likely to play spells than any of the other random things that you discount with the other classes.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. That's a 132.
Oh, I want to talk about this next card.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh man.
So this next card is a Gibberling, and it is a 124, which makes it Scarlet Crusader level, makes it Big Ol' Whelp level. This is a good card.
It's good.
This is not like a okay card or a Yeti. This is a good card you want in your deck. It's not premium, you know. It's not like what do you call that thing that gives you an 8/8 like buff for 5 mana?
Why are we bringing that card up?
It's not that. All right.
Blessing of Authority?
Blessing of
No,
Authority.
it is
It's
not a
not
Blessing
that.
of Authority.
Blessing of Kings is not even that. All right, we're not in that zone, but it is better than a Yeti, and it is a Gibberling, and it may not seem like it's better than a Yeti, but it is. It's a 1 mana 1/1 with Spell Burst. So, summon a Gibberling. So it's a 1 mana 1/1, which means you can play with any spell at any point, right? Like outside of turn 1, and even on turn 1, you have a coin and another 1-drop, you know. And then you play with another spell, and then another Gibberling comes. You play with another spell, and another Gibberling comes. And you just, like, chain a whole bunch of Gibberlings.
You could.
Okay, you could. You probably don't have that many spells. You're not going to get, like, a whole chain of Gibberlings. But whenever you do want to play a spell, you just kind of, like, tempo out, like, a 1 mana 1/1 with another 1/1, and then your opponent has to take care of that 1/1. Like, that's the value. Right? Because sure, I could chain out 2 spells, but I don't think that happens like too often. It'll happen. This is a 1 mana card. But the more common usage is at any point you want to play a spell, you put 2 1/1s on the board, which is pretty good tempo. And then one of them they have to remove, which then forces your opponent to do awkward things with their mana potentially. Like, we've run this quite a number of ways. I'm not fully sold on it being a 124, I'll be honest. But it's gonna end up like higher than like a 110 or something. Like it's gonna end up Yeti level, like or above a Yeti level. Like we're going with 124. We recognize that it may be a little lower, but it's around here. Like this is happening. I know we rated a Gibberer back in the day way too low. I remember that. Like, we got that card wrong. And it's because we just didn't appreciate what these cards do, you know? And how painful it is for some classes to just deal 1 damage. And even the classes that can deal 1 damage, how painful it is sometimes to have to spend that 2 mana on that turn. Or else, like, crap keeps happening.
So, yeah, I don't know if I would rate it this high. This is one of those cards in which I was like, I'm not sure about this. You seem to like this one a little bit more than I do.
It's just like random tempo that creates tokens. You're also a druid. You like tokens because of Savage Roar. And then on top of all that, like it's easy to throw into places. And it is one of the things is what would Alley Cat be in a druid right now, right? Like it would be like a 140.
Right. And this is worse than Alley Cat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that's what really fully convinced me that this card should be roughly around here. I don't know if I would actually go with a 124. That's what we're going with, but like if you told me, oh, it's a 110, I'd be like, okay, good. If you told me this was a 90, I'd be like, you're underrating this card. You're definitely underrating this card. This card is not a 90. This card is a super playable utility 1 mana card.
I think that's fair.
Alright. After Gibberling, we have Survival of the Fittest. Survival of the Fittest is a 10 mana card. Epic. Give +4/+4 to all the minions in your hand, in the deck, on the battlefield. All of them. That Like, that's yours. You're not buffing your opponent's minions.
It would not be a 115 in that case.
No. So it's like a Yeti. It does a lot of stuff. So we were talking about Savage Roar, right? This is another Savage Roar. Sure, you can't use it until turn 10, but you got into Epic, you don't see it that often, but you got a little consistency in the whole token gameplay now. Not the greatest multi-buff, but it's a viable one, because it sets you up for the future too, where you can start just gaining tempo from all the minions you draw.
Yeah.
And in your hand.
You guys do know like how or how rare it is for something 10 mana to score super high, right? Because yeah, you have to take into account the fact that hey, you can't play it before turn 10. Crazy. I know we're 8 hours in and this is revolutionary, but stay with me, guys. And that hurts the score. But here, you know, if you do have something that's 10 mana, well, it better do something immediately. And this does. So you not only buff everything in your hand and in your deck. So whatever you play next, right? Whatever you play next, it's going to be big. It's going to be really, really big. So yes, whatever delayed thing you do after you play this, you make up for it. And you still get +4/+4 to everything on the battlefield as well. And if you have 2 minions, well, you just play double Blessing of Kings with a huge buff. So it's pretty good. Like, this is one of those things in which, yeah, if you are absolutely losing the game and you can't afford to play this, that means you can't afford to play a lot of things. So
like
you can't
a rattle
really
gore.
Yeah. like a Rattlegore.
Like a super good card, but like you can't like die the next turn. The thing with this is like you guys have played Warlock in the current meta. You know what Scrap Imps do. You know what Shadow Council does. Like it triggers, and then all of a sudden you're just tempoing out. And this is double that. This is +4/+4. So you play like 2 3-drops and like 2 2-drops the next turn. You remember you have a hand. You always have a hand in this meta, especially as Druid. You definitely have a hand.
So this is exactly. This is good. And I see this question already. It's like, well, if you're behind on the board, doesn't it suck?
Sure.
It only sucks if you're off the board. If you're behind on the board, well, you know.
I mean, it still kind of sucks.
Nah, Blessing of Kings is still pretty good.
For 10 mana though,
you have to just be off the board in order for this to be bad. And then like the follow-ups, as long as you're not dead as well. So you have to be off the board and you have to be like dying or risk of death. And then even if you have like even if you're in a bad position and if you're able to hit +4/+4 on like taunts, you know, that are in your hand, or you're able to draw them, then you're right back in the game as well. So yeah, the fact that you're giving so many things +4/+4 and some things that are on the board and have initiative, it's not bad. It's like certainly better than what a lot of other really expensive cards are doing for you.
Yep. Yeah, like you'll recover the next turn. You just need some taunt cards in your hand.
You just can't be immediately dead.
Don't die.
That's it. You just can't immediately be dead.
It's the same philosophy as Rattlegore. Don't die. Except this can also win you the game, right? If you do have a board. Like,
yeah.
So people are, you know, is it good if you're really behind? Not really, but it's like great if you're really ahead. And it's pretty good if you're just fighting for the board. So that's why it's the Yeti. Alright. So what's next on this? Oh. Adorable Infestation is next. Apparently a bunch of like Ratatats, or are they Nidorians? Nidorans? I don't know what these things are.
Nidorans, if you are, they're definitely not. Why are you doing Pokemon? Like I thought I was a Pokemon.
What's a real animal? They don't look like real animals. That's why we went with Pokemon.
Okay, well they're not like. All right.
Alright. It's Adorable
Sure.
Infestation.
Sure.
It's 1 mana. It's like Hunter card, and it's like Druid card, and it's common. So you give a minion +1/+1, so it's a buff. So you need a target. Then you summon a 1/1 cub. This is a 1/1 beast. And then you add a cub to your hand, which means you can then play it immediately for another 1 mana. So if you treat it like a 2 mana card, it's 2 mana, you summon 1/1/1/1, and you give a minion 1/1/+1. If you treat it as a 1 mana card, you can hold the other one for later. Like, after you Survival of the Fittest and turn the cub into a 5/5 or something. It's okay. Like, it's a 109. It's below a Yeti, but still definitely capable of being part of your deck without hurting it significantly. Like, it's a minor utility card that really has a bunch of, like, not very swingy utility.
It's fine.
It does stuff.
It does things. It's fine. It's good. All right. What's next? Partner assignment.
Yep.
We have partner assignment. This is 1 mana to add a random 2-cost and 3-cost beast to your hand. Look, you're drawing cards, which is nice, but you're capped. You're capped, and
2-cost, 3-cost beasts are bad.
They're not good. If you look at the field of 2-cost and 3-cost beasts, it's not good, man. Beasts aren't amazing. So it's a 92.
Yeah, and if people are like, oh, but the curve, like, I don't know about the curve of this card. It sure gives you a 2-cost and a 3-cost beast, but those beasts may not be on curve. Like, you don't know. They're random.
Just because they cost 2 and cost 3 doesn't mean you want to independently play them on those turns as well. So it's not an instant curve fixer.
It gives you a good shot at being a curve fixer, but
sure.
Like, Also, here's the thing with curve. It really only matters if you actually have a good curve. Like, if you're playing 2 mana 2/2s on turn 2, that's not really a curve.
Yeah. Curve cards mean that there's a certain standard for them. It's not just like spew out any creature that costs 2 mana. So that's the problem with partner assignment. There's like no real upside, and it's just bad.
Yeah. All right. Next one is rated 74, so it's like total trash. It's demolisher levels of trash. It's a 7 mana card called Guardian Animals. Summon 2 beasts from your deck that cost 5 mana or less. Give them Rush.
Yikes.
I don't know. Some combo stuff in Constructed.
Are you ready for 7 mana, 2 rushing gibberlings?
And they don't even add more gibberings to your hand because they're not gibberers, they're just gibberlings. Gibberlings are also not beasts, are they?
Huh? No, they are.
Oh, are they beasts? That's cool.
No, they're not. Sorry.
Okay, because gibberers are not beasts. I thought gibberlings would just be smaller gibberers.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about something else for a second, but we were just using. I'm tired. I thought you were talking about something else, but
No, but yeah, like it's
bad. Okay. Yeah, it's just bad. You're gonna have too many small beasts and it's just not gonna work, man. All right, look, we got Lightning Bloom again. It was bad in Shaman. Maybe it's amazing in Druid. It's not. It sucks. It's a 65. It's a 65.
It lives with the arcane golems.
It's my mana, and I want it now.
Oh my god. You know what else is a 65? Look at the card right under it.
Oh no, Ancient of Lore.
Ancient of Lore is a 64 now. That's how useless cards are now for Druid. Druids have too many cards.
Well, also, you look at Ancient of Lore, and then you look at Big Ol' Whelp, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yikes, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot they also nerfed this guy. I was like, God, that's so low. I forgot they nerfed him to only draw 1 card.
Well, it's like, all right, how often are you using that heal? Not that often. So you're really just
God, why does this card exist?
It's so bad, right?
Why is it not? Oh, give him more stats. If you don't want to make it draw more cards or whatever, lower the mana, do something.
I know.
This is painful. This is painful. Make it 6 mana, make it a 6/6 or 7 mana or a 6 mana 5/5 at least. Oh god.
Just yeah. Anyways, the nerf hit it so hard. The nerf hit it so hard. It killed it. Okay, that's it for the normal cards.
So if you're tracking what Druid's doing, it's like Merp said. It's just a bunch of normal stuff. It's good quality minions. I feel like overall the quality of this stuff, like you have a Teacher's Pet, you have a Twilight Runner, you have Runic Carvings, like the quality is higher than most classes. You're not in the Demon Hunter Paladin level, but overall, like I think you have a good set of cards here. Does it do what you need to do? No, but possibly with Priest aside, and asterisk on the Warlocks, because Warlocks are weird, because they actually run out of cards if the meta goes on for too long. Druids are the best equipped to just kind of exist and create more and more big things that taunt and like drag out the game. That's why drawing cards is worthless for them. So you're moving into a meta that really rewards what Druids normally do. Like, I think it may be better for Druids than the value of these cards necessarily indicate. And you are getting some decent winners here. Not the top tier, but a good second tier. So if the meta goes the way that I think the meta is going to go, I wouldn't be surprised if Druid just kind of fits it like a glove and goes, okay, you got big things, I got big things, let's go. Let's see who's got more big things by the end and we fatigue. And the answer is probably going to be the Druid. Alright.
Cool.
Let's look at the legendaries. The worst legendary is a Shondo Wildclaw, which is a 101, 3 mana, 3/3. Choose one. Give beasts in your deck +1/+1. Okay, it's not that big of a buff, but it's something. Or transform into a copy of a friendly beast. Alright, you have to have a target beast, you have to want to transform into it. Just the 3 mana, 3/3 is too bad that the ability is doing something, but it's not going to lift it to be an actual good card.
That's the problem. 3 mana 3/3s are terrible. So yeah, like it's getting like 20 points for the abilities.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that like the first ability sucks. Give beasts in your deck +1/+1. It's not that effect is it's so small.
Mm-hmm.
Like so you really want to transform it into something huge, right? You want it to be a 3 mana like Teacher's Pet, but that's hard to do. Okay, next we have a pretty interesting card, Forrest Warden Omu. It's 6 mana for a 5/4. Spellburst, refresh your mana crystals. It's a 129, which means it's pretty good. Like 129 is pretty good.
Yeah, this one's gonna go down a bit. It's gonna suffer a lot from the tempo late game kind of thing, because that's when it's gonna get the tempo. But it's not gonna go like it's still gonna be like an okay card. Like it's not gonna drop to a 100 or anything.
Yeah,
it just gets you a lot of mana, like late game mana, but still mana, right? You play this, and you play it with a spell, whatever the spell is, even if it's inefficient. Even if you play with like a Wrath that's like 2 mana, right? You now have, and you're not spending the other 2 mana, you probably use your hero power, but let's say you don't, then you've still gained 8 mana.
Yeah, lots of times it's in the late game. You can look at it as like a free 5/4.
Yeah.
You know? So does it matter that much? Yeah, it still matters. It's not huge. But yeah, it still matters. So for this card, I think
it's definitely gonna go down once we make our changes in to like how tempo works in the late game.
But it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not gonna go below a 100. But I would put an asterisk on this score. It's like Ironbark, right? Like gonna go down.
Sure. Yeah. When he says it's like Ironbark, obviously the card is nothing like Ironbark.
Yeah, I just mean it has the same problems where it's gaining the most tempo later on.
Yeah, it's how you think about the card in terms of the algorithm, and then the how the scores are adjusted. We understand that this is nothing like Ironbark.
All right.
So last one, yeah. Speaker Gidra is a 170. We talked about this before. Druids actually do have some big spells, though.
Yes.
Druids actually have big spells. So
I think. Let's see. I haven't actually looked at it. Well, 7 mana spells. They have overflow, so that's definitely a thing.
Yeah. They always have Starfire and Starfall.
Oh yeah, that's right. They always have Starfire.
Starfall,
Nourish.
Nourish, like pretty.
Okay, yeah, they're in a better spot with this than Shaman to like do that combo on turn 10 or whatever.
Yeah, and that's an insane combo, right? Whether you're if you play this and you either play Starfire or Starfall, that's like so much initiative, so much cleanup, just a lot of potential for you to swing the game around. Like if you were behind, if you just play, I mean, not just if, like, you know, if you're playing legendary plus like a spell, but yeah, a lot of good, and it's 170-ish.
Yeah. All right. That's it for Druid. I'm dying. We got one more class. Let's hunter it up and get out of here. Any shoutouts?
No. Let's just finish.
Save it for the end. I will like it.
Save it for the end.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys in Hunter.